To the program, by the way. Please keep your hands together for a Collingwood man. You never write this mob off because the minute you do, they bounce back and knock a team over. Harry O'Brien and the Pies, everybody.
How good a form are you in, mate? You had an absolute beauty last night, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a good game. I got a lot of help from my teammates, which is always...
Don't give them the credit. Take it for yourself.
I think today, now in today's game, you, as a defender, you're at the mercy of teammates, and yeah, my teammates really did help me out.
Can I say you didn't put a foot wrong on the field, but I heard afterwards you did put a foot wrong. What did you do when you were shaving? Was it this morning?
No, it was actually just I was in a bit of a rush to get here, and I was shaving a bit quick, and I just took like a massive chunk out of my moustache. But luckily, Jackie in makeup was able just to patch it up. So you can...
She's redrawn your moustache.
That is outrageous. Are you prepared to wipe it off just for the sake of this interview?
I will at the end of the show.
All right, we'll have a look at that. Just in case you missed the game last night and you didn't see what Collingwood did to Brisbane at the Gabba, here is the score. The Brisbane Lions were all over the Pies early in the game, and you wondered how they were going to get into the game. But as the match wore on, Collingwood found its feet, and in the end, they got the points. And the defence was outstanding, but it was the work of a bloke in attack who really helped turn the corner.
Yeah, it's that old match winner that opposition supporters love to hate. Paul Medhurst being the one for Collingwood last night. He wasn't the only good story. We're going to look at his 4 goals here. But the fact that Pendlebury had a career-high 35 touches, the job that Jackson Barham did on Luke Power. I mean, no shortage of stories and really good ones for Collingwood. But Paul Medhurst just had a burst of brilliance, 2 goals in 2 minutes at the beginning of the third term, but came off there, as we saw, and astoundingly came back on in the 4th term, kicked the sort of a sealer, but seemed to be a little bit out of it by the end. What was going on there?
He was in no man's land. It was quite funny.
Can we have a look actually at a bit of him after the game with you? I believe this is him. What was
he was saying? Oh, how many goals did I kick? What he said? He really was in no man's land. He was wondering what happened.
So I wonder why he would have been brought back on in the 4th term then.
Oh, it was quite funny because a few of the boys said that they were on the bench with him. Or actually, it was after 3/4 time. He walked to the bench, and they said, "Medders, you're on." And he said, "Well, which way are we going?" And so he
wouldn't even know about the war between me and Eddie, would he?
and that's everybody. You know what you do? What you do at that point is you go up and you go, "Hey, Medders, remember you owe me $1,000. Can I get that before you sober up?"
Easy, everybody knows about the war between you. I'm Ryan Fitzgerald, thanks to Hungry Jack's watching. Jack Watson, Melbourne supporters. Sammy, going to be very, very keen to watch this bloke's development over time.
Can I say, I mean, if that whack in the head doesn't make him nauseous after the game, looking at his dad's jumper.
Is he going to an 80s party after the
Bill Cosby.
Harry, I'm keen to quiz you about a certain matter that's been brought to our attention this morning, actually, by your coach. We'll listen to him on Radio First addressing a question about an alleged umpire-player touching incident, but the reverse to last week, where the umpire is allegedly touching a Collingwood player.
I understand that possibly an umpire might have touched one of your players.
May well. We're going to look at that. You know,
so it was discussed post-match?
We'll call it a ledge so we don't get ourselves in trouble. But I'd like to see that. I just want to look at the tape and just see what did take place.
Now, this is quite strange, I've got to say. From the outset, it's bizarre. We've looked at the tapes. We can't see any umpire player touching action.
It was in the car park after the game.
Harry, what do you know about this? Words going around that Shane O'Brien might be involved?
Yeah, look, I don't really know. I haven't seen the incident myself, and I know I'm going to watch it very closely because it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
But is there an incident, or is this a strange kind of fascination or fantasy?
I'm not. Yeah, like I said, I can't really comment on it because I haven't seen it, or I've just heard that there may have been an incident through a few of the other boys saying.
Can I just say, I mean, what's touching and what's not, what's unwarranted, what is? I'm touching Sammy right now. Okay? And is she complaining? I don't know if she is.
He's not touching me.
I'm just saying.
That's untrue. But anyway,
That's interesting because I was touching Hughes.
but you, as players, you are aware of this incident.
I believe that there was an incident, so like I said, I'll watch it with great interest to see what happens, especially after what happened with Heath Shaw.
I'm puzzled.
We've just heard from your coach. You often get a spray from your coach. You don't often get a spray from the umpires, do you? But you were on the receiving end of an almighty broadside the other night. Do you remember this incident? Have a look at this. You're going about your business. Here you go. Listen to the umpire here.
Sort of kick, but direction was always good, and Bradshaw, who's quick off the mark.
Is that your dad umpire? What's going on there?
Oh, yeah, I can't even remember it. So, yeah.
Jermaine, they do it. All things considered, they do a very, very difficult job remarkably well.
Yeah, they do. I remember when I was younger, my dad made me umpire so I could get a better perspective of the game, and also helps you with reading the play. So if there's any younger people out there, I reckon it's really beneficial because it does give you another perspective.
You are smart. Apparently you have a very close affinity with the umpires. Even Brisbane coach Michael Voss last night thought that the backman for Collingwood had too close an affinity with the umpires. He's got some questions, apparently.
I was seeking clarification exactly what defenders can do against forwards. So I'll seek that out with Jeff during the week, exactly what they can and can't do, just for my own peace of mind, and just to let Brady and Brownie know exactly what can happen.
Apparently you were too rough to big bad Jonathan Brown.
What can't you do? Short of spiking their drinks, I reckon it's fair enough.
Umpires are under a lot of pressure, as are coaches. Yours is one of 7 coming out of contract at the end of this year. What's your reading of the play there?
Yeah, Mick's been fantastic. Even though the last couple of weeks we've lost, he's been really positive, and that's why I think someone like a Jackson Barham can come in with confidence and make an immediate impact, because Mick's shown us a lot of faith in when a lot of people, I suppose, in the media have been kicking us while we were down.
Have you seen Bucks driving past training at all? Or is this Bucks hanging around?
No, I haven't seen Bucks around. Maybe he's just in hideout, just waiting to pounce.
How would you feel about Nathan Buckley coaching elsewhere next year?
Elsewhere? If that's what he wants to do, then that's good on him, because I'm sure he'd be fantastic, just as Vossi's been fantastic in his first year.
You are.
Brisbane.
You're unflappable. It doesn't matter what people do to you. Steve Johnson last week tried to do something really weird to you. Let's have a look at this. He basically tried to give you the fish hook. What's he doing there? Does he think you're a mullet? What was that about? What was he pinching?
I really didn't know that it happened until I saw the footage after and realised there was a chunk missing out of my cheek.
Do you have no feeling on your lip? Is that why you cut yourself shaving?
Look, I really did, just in the heat of the play, you don't really know what happens until you see after, and yeah, it was quite interesting to see what he was doing.
Is that the most extraordinary thing that's ever happened to you on a football field?
No, when I kicked my first goal in my second match, I went to give Shane Woden a high five, and I missed his hands and I cut his nose open, and he had to come off with the blood. Really. He's actually, and if you know Shane Woden, he's a very attractive man, and it's actually scarred him for life.
You've been such a great guest. I've got these for you to give to Eddie McGuire.
Harry, you've been magnificent. Thanks for coming on again. Harry O'Brien, our special guest. When we come back from the break, Mark Choco Williams to join us on the show. But as we go to the break, from one Collingwood great to another, the latest from Brian Straw.